Armchair Sports Studio right here in downtown Valdosta, Georgia. And looks like I'm doing this in by myself, folks. First thing I want to tell you is, of course, watch our show on NBC 40 this weekend. They've had a lot of problems going back and forth with the NBC 40 because they were hacked, and we weren't able to get on the show this weekend either, this past weekend. So we'll be on this weekend at 10 o'clock or 9 o'clock in the morning on NBC 40 out of Tallahassee. So go to that show and check it out. Also, if you can see your screen, or if you can get to your screen, right there, all you got to do is scan that right there, right now. Just scan it, take you right to our website and all our other platforms, which would be thearmchairsports.com. If you'll go there, you can get to our Facebook, you can get to our all of our websites, not websites, help me out here, Chris.
All of our social profiles and podcast, all that kind of stuff.
Nice. See there, I knew I had to have somebody help me out with that. So if you want to go to those, you can again go to thearmchairsports.com. Thank you for watching us here today. And what we want to do is we're going to kind of go over some high school football. Actually, the playoffs are starting this week, and we have some rankings that have come out for the high school sports this week. So let's just get right into it. In the overall rankings in the state of Georgia, there were three teams that met from the south, I guess, southeast, south, middle, west. However you look at it, but you got three teams from South Georgia, we'll call it, in the top 12. One was Ware County, Lowndes County, and Colquitt County. Now this is overall with from 1A to 7A. So all of those covered in that actual area, and it boiled down to only three. And people want to know why South Georgia is not represented even more than what they are, because if you look, and we'll do this in just a minute, if you look at the individual classifications like A, 7A, 6A, 5A, 4A, 3A, 2A, 1A, we're pretty well represented in the top tiers. We even have one that we're 1 and 2 in the polls. So I don't understand why the overall ranking just shows us, like, after you get past number 12 at Colquitt County at number 12, Lowndes at number 11, and Ware County at number 6, Coffee County, which is Douglas, is at 21. Benedictine, which is over around Savannah, but we still consider them kind of South Georgia. If you think about it, Benedictine is Savannah. You go straight across, you're in Highway 16, Interstate 16. You're right there around Macon. That just kind of gives you so are they middle or are they South Georgia? That's always been the question.
Well, I was kind of wondering about Lee County myself.
Well, Lee County they're more over in the west, north-southwest.
Okay.
Actually, more, if I'm not mistaken, it's around the Albany area. So
yeah.
What technically is South Georgia?
Yeah.
Most people say it's from, Tifton down. Or is it Macon down? Or is it Atlanta down? Now, people always say, Atlanta's South Georgia. No, Atlanta's actually in the middle of the state, if not more north to the state.
Yeah, I was thinking it'd be more north, but yeah.
I mean, but if you ask somebody, where's Atlanta? Oh, it's further south. It's in Georgia. It's the southern part of Georgia. It's really not.
No.
Even Macon's is what, 100 miles south of that. So,
yeah. I would consider that mid-Georgia.
Yeah, exactly. And that's just it. So, it's like if you go to this list, and I was saying Benedictine and Savannah, and then you got Thomasville. Thomasville, you can't get much further south than Georgia because it's right there on the Georgia-Florida line. No pun intended with Georgia-Florida. So, why are they not represented? I don't understand. Also, for example, if you look in Class 1A, you have Brooks County and Irwin County. They're nowhere mentioned in the top 25. Is it because just they're a smaller school and I don't think they'd be able to hang with the larger schools? So that's to me that's another question on is this a true classification, or is this, just somebody from the north saying, okay, all these schools, because we know these schools better? But in 1A, you got Brooks County and Irwin County. In 2A, now that's 1 and 2. Now, ranked number 1 and ranked number 2 in the state is Brooks County and Irwin County. Now, that's Ocilla, for those of you that don't know, but that's Ocilla. But also in 2A, you've got Thomasville ranked number 1, and then you have Fitzgerald ranked number 3. So you've got Thomasville and Fitzgerald in the top. So now you're looking at, already, we haven't even left South Georgia. We haven't got past 1A or 2A. So you're looking at 1, 2, 3, 4 out of 5 top teams. You're looking at 4 of them are from South Georgia. But it's not represented in the overall totality of what the state is. Again, we can all complain because they're not looking at those teams. They're smaller. They don't have enough kids. They get beat by these other teams. Possibility, but how can you take them out of when they're the top seed and what they are? And some of these schools are actually moving up in different categories next year. So I think Marcus Rogers put out, and we copied what he put out, but he put out the reclassification that had just come out, and we posted it. So I think Valdosta's moving into 7A next year. So it's going to be pretty interesting with Valdosta finally coming in. But I don't have a 3A. My paper guy, which is me, couldn't get it to come up on the computer for some reason. So we're just going to move straight on to 4A. So then you go to 4A, you've got Bainbridge. Again, you got Benedictine. Benedictine is number 1. They're in Savannah. Are they north or south? We used to play them when we were in Camden, so I couldn't tell you there. You have to make that determination yourself. But then you got Bainbridge and Cairo. All right, now we've got 1, 2, and then you've got 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. You have 13 teams right now. Out of 13, out of 3 classifications, now this is 1A, 2A, and 4A. 3 classifications, you've got 13 teams, and South Georgia has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 teams. Mm-hmm. So they have almost half. And that just astounds me that they're not anywhere in the rankings. These are all the higher class schools. So why I don't understand why you don't put them in there. And we'll just move on to 5A. You have Ware County and Douglas. Douglas, which is Coffee, and I believe we came out with, when I first said it, Ware County is actually number 6 overall. So, so they gave us a good one right there because they're saying Ware County could be Lowndes County, Ware County can be Colquitt County, Lee County, Milton, Brookwood. They're saying they can, and Marietta. So I don't know. It's kind of skewed. But then you got Coffee County came in at 21. So then they kind of bring a little bit in on the back end. Is that giving us a little bit of charity? Probably. And then you go over to 6A, and then you have Valdosta, who doesn't even have a chance in the playoffs at all, but as strong as their team is, with a 4-6 record, they still have Valdosta at number 8 over Riverwood, Atlanta, at 8-1. So you got a team 4-6 that is ranked higher than a team that's 8-1 and a team that's 7-3. I'm not kidding. It's right there.
Yeah.
I don't understand. The logic here is not making any sense. Do I think Valdosta is a good team? I've appreciated it most of the year. Yeah, I believe they're a pretty good team. But to put them in number 8 in the Class 6A rankings and make them number 8 overall ending the year, is that because they know what they're going to have next year, because Belton Shelton has signed and they have agreed for him to be their head coach. He's no longer the interim, so they're not having to go out and look outside, and all these kids have bonded. So now when they come in next year, because he was playing with a lot of underclassmen, because some of those other ones weren't there to seniors that they were suspended for a year. So they gave a lot of love to Valdosta, but in all this other stuff they didn't give. I don't understand where it's at. But Valdosta will be going to 7A next year, if I'm not mistaken. But then in the top, in 7A, you've got number 6 Lowndes and number 7 Cockwood
give you just one
County. So I don't know why it says Cockwood County, Norman Park. Unless there's 2 different Cockwood counties in the state of Georgia. I'm not.
No, I don't think so.
I'm not really sure why they've got Norman Park out beside it either. Just doesn't make any sense. So you go to Class 7A right now. They're saying Collins Hill right now. They're predicting what they predict is Collins Hill because they're number 1. They predict they won the state championship. Then you got North Cobb, which is from Kennesaw. We all know where that's at. It's north of Atlanta. They've got them at number 2. And they got Mill Creek. And they've got them at number 3. Brookwood, which is in Snellville. So Brookwood. And then you got Milton at number 5. And then you got 3 other teams from North Georgia, which would be Walton, Marietta, and Grayson. So are those teams better? People around here won't like me for saying this, but I think so. I think the teams I think Lowndes County and Cockwood County and Camden County and Tiff County, which we're going to get into who they're playing next week. But for them to make it past, luck's going to have to be on their side on some of them. I just don't think that they have the physicality on the other points. They've got a great quarterback. Their offensive line, they have played excellent throughout the year, and they stood the test, and they have shocked some people. Do they have enough to shock them? I think you're going to find out Lowndes County is probably going to go at least 2 deep into the playoffs. Cockwood, I would probably estimate 2 deep also, but we'll get into it in a minute. I think those 2 will have to play each other at some point, and I don't think that's until the Final Four, though. And then Camden County, I don't know. Camden County, their first bid, they have to go up north. So we'll talk about some of those teams. But Region 1, they're represented because all 4 teams from Region 1 made the playoffs, even though some of the records weren't as good as they should have been. So that, to me, that as far as the rankings go, that's where some of my skepticism is because I don't think that South Georgia gets enough love, but then again, when you get on a lot of these shows, that's all you hear about is South Georgia. So, maybe we in South Georgia need to expand our horizons a little bit and think about some of them other schools up north. Are they that good? They have them ranked. Have we lost? Yes, we've lost. Lowndes County, Valdosta, Tiff, Brooks, Thomasville. And, remember, Thomasville's number 1. So, so let's look at some of the playoffs. You got the playoffs over there?
I do.
All right. So the South Georgia teams, we're going to go into 7A right now. The South Georgia teams that are in the playoffs, we got Tiff County is actually going to be playing Marietta on, the 14th? No, I don't know what that is.
The 12th?
The 12th.
Yep.
Yeah, 11-12. That's it.
Yep.
They're going to be playing Marietta on the 12th, and they're playing that in Marietta.
Right.
That's going to be a difficult. I really believe that's going to be a difficult game for Tiff County. New coach up there, coming down from up north, not really familiar with what's happening here in South Georgia. He did beat Camden, and they lost to. I think they got 3rd seed, and they lost to Cockwood and Lowndes. Do I think Cockwood and Lowndes were a good fight for them? I really do. I think Cockwood and Lowndes, they were battle tested once they come into them. So it's one of those things that I really believe that Tifton may win one against Marietta. I don't know because Marietta is actually coming in as a 2 seed in Region 3. So. Of course, that's always how it goes. You get the bottom people have to play the top people, and I think they'll put up a good game, but I just don't think they're going to win that one. And then on the same side of the bracket, because you've got Duluth and Milton, West Forsyth and Mill Creek, South Gwinnett and McEachern, And then you have Walton is playing Cockwood. Now, they're on the exact same side over here of the bracket. And so Cockwood is the number 2 seed. Walton's the number 3 seed. I believe, now, I didn't mention this a minute ago, but Tifton, Camden, Cockwood, and Lowndes all had a bye week last week. All of Region 1 were able to go scout and go do everything they needed to do to get ready for the playoffs. So I think Cockwood will be ready for this one. I think this is where Cockwood's going to go at least 1 deep. I think maybe 2 deep. And the reason I say that, because you got Alpharetta and Archer. Archer's the number 1 seed in 7. And so it's one of them. It's one of those in Region 7. They're the first. I don't know. Once we get to that one next week, if Cockwood gets that far, then we'll talk about it then. But you got Alpharetta playing Archer, North Gwinnett, South Forsyth, and Noonan and Brookwood, which are all the northern teams. So right now, Tifton is having to travel to Atlanta. If they win, unless they play Duluth in an upset over Milton, they'll have to travel again to Atlanta, which is going to be really difficult. I think Lowndes did it, last year or the year before last? That they had to keep traveling up north. Okay, keep going up north.
Yeah.
Then Walton, if Cockwood gets past Walton and they play Archer and Archer wins, they're going to have to travel up north too, whether Archer or Alpharetta win. So right now, Cockwood's playing at home. Go out and support your Cockwood County Packers, but Cockwood will be playing at home this week. Then on the other side of the bracket, you have Camden, which is actually having to go to North Cobb. I think Camden will be ready for the game. The problem with that is they're playing Region 3, number 1.
Oh, okay.
I've seen Coach Herron pull some out, but I just don't think they're ready this year. I think he's just getting back there, and things are just starting to build for him. So I think they're actually building Camden up. Okay. That's why I don't think that they're going to get into that one. And then, of course, now you've got Lowndes, who is Region 1, number 1, who will be hosting this week Harrison. This should not even be a ball game. It really shouldn't. I think Lowndes got a great draw. Here's why. Because if Lowndes wins this week, then Lowndes either plays Norcross or Cherokee next week. So if they play Norcross or Cherokee, which everybody's assuming because of where everything's at, they're going to play Norcross. They'll actually play here at Lowndes. So there's 2 games in a row they'll play at home.
Yeah.
And then if that happens to win and Collins Hill wins and Collins Hill wins out, then I've got a feeling they're going to have to go to Collins Hill. I'm not sure how that's going to work out yet, but you got to get past that. But as of right now, Lowndes County has a good shot at making it to the Final Four. I mean, a really good shot because they're sitting pretty on who they have to play. Yeah. And that's what winning. That's what 2 weeks ago everybody was concerned about, that number 1 seed. This is why you want that number 1 seed, because in a couple weeks you're going to be like, okay. Right. And now they're looking at, okay, we have this team and this team. We should beat both of them. So that gets us 2 deep. Don't look ahead. Don't look forward. But those of us that are sitting in the chairs, doing this stuff, we have to look forward. So if they do, then, they got a good chance of making it into the Final Four. So I tell you what we're going to do. Let's do this. Let's take a quick break real quick. Real quick break. How do you say that?
Yeah, quick break. We got to pay some bills around here, so yeah.
Somebody needs to pay some bills. Okay. All right. We'll be right back after this.
All right.
Need a website for your business? Let Shadowfox Design help. We will design and build your website so you have more time for your business. We will help with all your online needs so you have more time for your customers. Learn more and get started now by going to www.shadowfox.design. Research less and relax more with eTravel Anytime. Let us help you decide which Sandals destination is best for your romantic getaway, or help you choose the family resort that is best for your vacation. We can also help you decide which cruise is best for you and your family. Tell us your preferences and we can narrow down your choices. Contact us today so we can help you plan your next vacation. Call 229-300-3691.
All right, we're back. Real quick, let's circle back to this. My picks. I'm going to go ahead and put them on here right now. Tiff County, sorry, but I'm going to go with Marietta. All right, and let's go to Colquitt. I'm going to take the upset, and actually, no, I'm not going to take the upset. I'm going to go with Colquitt. No, duh. Marietta, I'm going to take Marietta over Tifton. Let me see if I can get that right here. All right, so I got Tiff County versus Marietta. I'm going to take Tiff County. No, I'm going to take Marietta. I get my brain straight here in a minute, you know what I mean? All right, so Tiff County's playing Marietta. I'm going to take Marietta. There we go. All right, you've got Walton at Colquitt County. I'm going to take Colquitt at home. Then you've got Camden at North Cobb. I'm going to take North Cobb. Then you've got Lowndes.
Don't most teams usually do better when they're at home though?
Oh yeah, most definitely. That's what you want the number 1, number 2 seed for. And the reason you want that number 1, number 2 seed is to keep you at home because you're more familiar. You don't have to get on a bus and drive for 4 hours to go towards Atlanta. You don't have to eat different meals. You can set the same routine through school that you've had all year. I mean, traveling, plus there's a lot of expense to it.
Oh, yeah.
So it's
I'm sure it's fun for the players, but, it's got to be tiring, too, you know?
It'd be taxing, especially on those. Think about this. You're riding on a bus for 4 hours. You have what they call dead legs because you've been sitting all day.
Yeah.
So you have to get up and work that out. It's like I know with Jeff Herron, what he does, he finds halfway point of wherever he's going, and he stops at a rest area, gets the kids off the bus for about an hour, and they run plays and get all that adrenaline and stuff going back through their legs. So, that's a good point. Having being at home is a great advantage, and that's probably one of the reasons I'm going to take Colquitt County just because they're at home.
Oh, okay.
And then Lowndes, I'm definitely taking Lowndes on this one. It's going to be an interesting game. I just don't think they'll
against Harrison.
Yeah, I don't think Harrison's going to.
I haven't heard much out of them anyway.
Well, no, that's because they're a 3 seed and they've only won 4 games, or a 4 seed in number 3. So they're the last seed.
No,
they're sitting all the way at the bottom. Now I will tell you guys. Just be straight with you. Chris knows nothing about football. Not a thing. Great questions.
I'm just pulling stuff out
That's
here.
right. That's good. That's great questions. I think you're giving some great questions, and these are not things. Me already knowing everything that's going on, I don't know that I would ask those questions. So it's great questions. I appreciate that, and that's probably what some viewers want to know if they don't watch football or something like that. So great questions.
Or follow the rankings.
Yeah. So true. All right. So we're going to move on to Class 6A. So in Class 6A, we're only going through the Southern teams, which is what most of us care about. All right, so in 6A, you've got Tucker against Brunswick. And then you have Glenn Academy against Langston Hughes. Now, for those of you that don't know, Brunswick and Glenn Academy. Brunswick's a city. Glenn Academy is the county. So Glenn Academy and Brunswick are those young men and women go to school just like Lowndes and Valdosta. So that's the exact same thing over there that you have in Lowndes and Valdosta.
It's a big rivalry there too.
Yeah, it's a big rivalry. But right now what they're doing is they're both pulling for each other.
Oh yeah.
Because they both want you want Brunswick and you want Glenn to move up, because they could actually meet at the final Final Four.
Yeah.
So that's pretty cool. I mean, in itself, to have both of them there. And the problem is Glenn Academy has to play a number 1 seed, and Brunswick, well, they're playing Tucker, so that's almost a given. But we'll get to that. We'll circle back to that in just a second. So Effingham I put Effingham on here because, again, they're over around Savannah, just like Benedictine. They're right in that Savannah area, but all those southern schools, all those teams over there, they consider it southern.
Yeah.
So Effingham is actually playing, I guess it's Westlake.
Westlake.
And then Lanier is playing Kennesaw Mountain. So, all right, let's break these down a minute. So you've got Kennesaw Mountain, which is a number 1 seed in Region 6, and you've got Lanier, which is a number 4 seed in Region 5. So that's a 1 going against a 4. What's the likelihood?
Likelihood?
There you go. That's a good word. What's the likelihood that Lanier's actually going to win that? It's the probability is really low.
Yeah.
So in that situation, I am actually going to take Kennesaw. Effingham, which is a 3 seed in Region 2, is taking on Westlake, which is a 2 seed in Region 4. That's going to be a toss-up. That Effingham could win that ball game. So I'm going to go with Effingham. Then you've got Glen Academy versus Langston Hughes. So Glen Academy, again, we just talked about they're a 4 seed in Region 2. So being a 4 seed in Region 2 going against a 1 seed in Region 4 means they pretty much don't have a chance.
Yeah.
But that's what Cinderella's all about, right? That's what we play. That's what
the underdog.
As my former co-host or co-host, whatever you want to call him, because he's not here today, he used to say, that's why they play the game.
Yeah.
That's why they play the game.
Yeah.
So I'm going to take Langston Hughes, though. And then you've got Brunswick, which is Region 2 1 seed, and Tucker, which is a Region 4 4 seed. I'm going to have to give that one to Brunswick all the way around. So we're going to speed this up a little bit.
All right.
So in 5A, you don't have anybody. You got 2 teams from South Georgia, which is Ware County, which is a Region 1 team. They're playing a Region 3 team, 4 seed. So Ware County, we're going to give Ware County that win. You're going to look at Creekside and Coffee County. I am giving Coffee. It's a 1 seed. Region 1 3 seed versus a Region 3 2 seed. Say that fast. So it's a 2 seed and a 3 seed. What's happening is, and Coffee's the 3 seed. Again, that one should be a toss-up. I'm going to go with Coffee County. That's in 5A. Again, Valdosta's not in there. They're not in the 6A either because they were not eligible this year. Then you got Daugherty County and Jenkins in 4A. And then you got Cairo and New Hampstead. Yep, that's right, New Hampstead. And then Thomas County Central and Benedictine and Islands and Bainbridge. All right, 2 things real quick. Daugherty County, what? They're up around Albany.
Yeah,
so
that is Albany. Yeah.
So they're 2 seed playing it. They're a 3 seed playing a 2 seed. I'm just going to go with Daugherty because from the south, Jenkins probably has a really good team. Then you got Cairo, who's a number 2 seed in Region 1. I'm going Cairo. I've seen them in person. They've got a great offense. Their defense is pretty strong, too.
Hasn't Daugherty County had some pretty good players come out of there?
Oh, yeah. Daugherty County out of Albany, they've got a lot of good players that have gone into the NCAA Division I and Division II. And they have, if I'm not mistaken, there's 2 that are with VSU this year.
Yeah, okay.
Valdosta State University. So, there's a lot that come out of that area.
Yeah.
Thomas County Central, which is in Thomasville, which is on the state line over there, playing Benedictine, which is up in Savannah again. They're actually a military school, and it's a 4 seed playing a 1 seed. So Thomas County. Now I watched them play. They play better than a 4 seed. I've seen it. I watched them play down in Florida. I was there. They played way better than a 4 seed. How good is Benedictine though? They have to be pretty decent. They're a number 1 seed. So
I'm
going to go against Thomasville. I'm going to take Benedictine. And then you've got Bainbridge versus Island. Bainbridge is 1 seed in Region 1, and Bainbridge. I've also watched them play against Cairo. There's no way they lose that game. All right, let's hurry this up a little bit. 3A. You got Crisp County playing Harlem, Region 2. I'm taking Crisp County. And then you got Liberty. I'm taking Liberty because they're number 1 seed. And then you got Pierce County, which I'm taking Pierce County also. And that's in 3A.
Okay.
Now, down in 2A, we've got Cook County. All right, so you got Cook County, who's a 3 seed, playing a 2 seed. I'm going with Cook County. They're the 3 seed against the 2 seed. That's going to be a toss-up. Then you got Fitzgerald also playing Dodge County. A 3 seed, Dodge is a 3 seed, Fitzgerald's a 2 seed. I'm going to take Fitzgerald. You got Early County against Berkeley County. I'm going to take Early County. Well, no, I'm not. Because that's a 2 seed against a 4 seed.
Yeah.
So sorry, Early County fans, but I'm going to take Berkeley. Then you got Washington County versus Thomasville. I'm going with Thomasville. I think they're going to the state championship this year.
Yeah.
They've got a really, really good team. All right, now we're going to Class Public 1A, and 2 teams from the South, which was Irwin County, which is a number 1 seed playing a number 4 seed. I'm going Irwin all the way. Then you got Montgomery County against Brooks County. Here's the difference.
Brooks is another good.
Brooks is always keeps pretty good. Once they get to the playoffs, they start peaking. Yeah. And I always tell everybody, you want to peak at the right time in football. You can lose the first 2 games as long as they're not region games.
Right.
First 2 games, maybe 3 at the most.
Mm-hmm.
And then as long as you start to pick it up from there, and then you win a game by 2 points, then you win a game by 4 points, and you start peaking on that rise.
Yeah.
When you get to this is where you want. It's like Camden. If Camden plays ball and they peak now, then they're going to be the Cinderella coming in as a 4 seed.
Oh, okay.
But right now, Brooks County, they're sitting in a 2 seed against the 3 seed. Brooks County's got a pretty good ball club over there. I'm going to go with Brooks County. And then we're going to go to a private schools Class 1A. There's nobody from the South that I'm aware of. I couldn't find Park, the school over here. So, I mean, people have probably hit Valwood. That was it. Let me see. Let me look again and see if I just missed them real quick. And
there's Savannah.
Trinity Christian. And then you got the Savannah schools. You got Brookstone. I don't even see them here, but they're probably in a larger category. So
yeah.
So one of the biggest things is in the playoffs, is South Georgia well represented? I do believe they are. I believe there's several teams that we just went over them. There's several teams that are represented very well in the playoffs. And I think if Valdosta was there, I think Valdosta would be one of those teams that would be well representing the South. 4 and 6. They're going to have a hard time in Region 6 next year, or Region 7, or Region 1 7A. But we'll see what happens. They have an opportunity to ask to play down. Teams can ask to play down or play up, either way. So we'll see what Valdosta decides to do, if they want to petition to play up or they want to play down. I don't remember what the exact date on that is. So we're here though, and we've got the scores. What I'd like, if you get a score, go to The Armchair Sports and hook us up with the scores. Or if you get a score this next weekend or next Friday night, let us know, or Saturday. Some of them are playing on Saturday. Hook us up on Facebook and give us some scores. And on Saturday morning, watch our show on Saturday morning. We'll be channel, I forget what channel it is here in Valdosta. It's either 13 and something else.
Yeah, it depends on the provider too, though.
Right, exactly.
But
I think
it's NBC 40 out of Tallahassee, though.
Right, so just look for NBC 40 out of Tallahassee. We come on 9 o'clock Saturday morning. Go check us out on Facebook. We'll circle back to it next time.